And welcome to Blueprint Explosive Exclusive. I'm Madhavdas Gopalakrishnan. Now today, the big topic that we are discussing is what really is taking place as far as the Oxford Union is concerned. The prestigious Oxford Union under fire for permitting a debate that has several speakers who are linked with terror groups, and also at the same time has a topic as controversial as this house believes in an independent state of Kashmir. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, not only the fact that this is a topic that has come under fire from British Hindus as well as Indian students and the Oxford Hindu Union itself, there are also serious questions about the individuals who have been invited, including Zafar Khan and Muzammal Ayub Thakur. They are linked to extremism and groups like JKLF. Many are questioning whether this is some kind of an ISI-sponsored debate, given the kind of pro-Pak stance that the debate and its premise itself needs to have. Others questioning how is it possible for such a debate to take place, which in itself has questioned the sovereignty of India. Many are also asking, what about those who perpetually bat for peace with Pakistan? Will they also support this kind of peace talks, with Pakistan? Will they also come out and condemn this particular debate? Because clearly it raises serious questions on India's sovereignty. Listen to some reactions coming in.
They also invited two white-collar terrorists who are responsible for the genocide and ethnic cleansing of nearly 4 lakh Kashmiri Pandits from Kashmir. They have killed, murdered, raped Kashmiri women. In a foreign land, there is an activity which is going on which is anti-India.
It is very sad that prestigious institutes like Oxford are trying to legitimize the genocide of Kashmiri Hindus, Kashmiri Pandits. They are trying to give space to terror organizations and people who are part of those terror organizations. It's a shame, instead of being a voice for the people who have faced displacement, Oxford is trying to promote terror organizations.
Let's take this across to our guest now. Joining us, Rashmi Sawant is former president of the Oxford Student Union. Adit Kothari is founding member of the Indic Society. Also joining us is advocate Ahmed Ayaz, political analyst, and Abid Mir Magami is leader of the Congress Party. Let me start with you first. Rashmi Sawant, how is it possible for this kind of a topic? Because this is quite clearly, if the United Kingdom tomorrow, was to see a debate taking place in one of India's top universities, talking about the independence of Northern Ireland or saying that it deserves to be a separate country, what would the reaction there in the United Kingdom be?
Absolutely, Madhav. So this is a clear case of one rule for me, another for thee. The United Kingdom would not stand for India hosting any kinds of, debates or any kinds of discussions questioning its sovereignty, be it Northern Ireland, Scotland or Wales. But at the same time, it has held repeated debates within its parliament regarding the sovereignty of Kashmir. It has also enabled various organizations, including the BBC, which is state-run, to question the sovereignty of Kashmir. And today, it's also, allowing and it's actually encouraging universities like the University of Oxford and the Oxford Union to have such debates. What is really concerning is that today we have designated terrorists participating in the debate, and they are associated with organizations which were not just responsible for violence against Hindus here in Bharat, but also for the kidnapping and killing of a British-based Indian diplomat. So we are talking about violence against Indian origin people in the United Kingdom as well. Today we have a large Indian diaspora, large Hindu diaspora studying at the University of Oxford. By inviting such terrorists, they're just legitimizing violence against Indian students, legitimizing, violence against Hindu students, as if our lives don't matter, our concerns don't matter, and that free speech allows, terrorism to perpetuate against us. I firmly believe that free speech ends where terrorism begins, but the union clearly doesn't seem to believe that, and by doing so, all that it is doing is legitimizing violence. And that is extremely concerning. And as an Oxford University graduate, as a former president of the Oxford University Student Union, and as a permanent member of the Oxford Union, I'm deeply ashamed that my alma mater and organization that I've been a part of for so long is hosting this debate. I'm ashamed that it has come to this. I'm deeply agonized, and I stand in solidarity with Indian students who are currently studying at Oxford and who will be, who would be feeling threatened by such topics being hosted.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ahmed Ayaz, this is very, very serious because can we allow this kind of a hypocrisy? Whether it's Scotland or Northern Ireland, clearly United Kingdom won't be happy if there's a similar debate that happens here in India. There have been movements, in favor of that in the past in those particular countries. Does this mean that we also allow for a debate here like this? And isn't it hypocritical because these are persons who are accused of links with terrorist groups, Ahmed Ayaz?
See, Madhav, I don't know who these people are, but the point is perhaps they are linking their debate to the resolution which has been adopted by the Security Council, UN Security Council long back. I mean, somewhere around in 1948, after the Pakistani tribals raided Kashmir. And the resolution was thereafter adopted to see that there is to seek a resolution of the conflict between India and Pakistan. So I think if of course what happens out of their debate, whether what way it goes, that is a different thing. But I don't see there is anything wrong in debating whatever has been already discussed.
Ahmed Ayaz, the point is that no, there is no mention. No, Ahmed Ayaz, no, you cannot do this. You cannot do this. There is no mention of United Nations in the topic. The topic is this House believes in the independent state of Kashmir. The point is that there is an instrument of accession that was given by Maharaja Hari Singh to the Union of India, and that's the only thing that matters. The accession of Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir to India is a recorded fact. Whatever may have happened in the United Nations is only a corollary to that fact. Are you in support of such a debate taking place in the Oxford Union? Are you justifying it, Ahmed Ayaz?
I don't deny. I don't deny what you say, but the point is there is a resolution. I believe they are that debate, that resolution also about seeking conflict, resolution of India, Pakistan to see that also spoke about to see that the people of the Jammu and Kashmir is given right to express their opinion. I think this debate is related to that because there were many debates there after discussions and meetings there after bilaterally somewhere in 97 in Shimla.
This is the problem. Ahmed Ayaz, the problem is first to. Sir, agreed, there is a complex history, but the point is to support such a debate, is it necessary to call terrorists? I mean, this is an absolute insult. The premise of this debate itself is problematic. But calling terrorists on top of that? Or terrorist supporters?
No, we don't know who these people are. We don't know who these people are. But even if intellectual level, whatever level, if there's a debate, there's nothing wrong. Because debate anybody can do. In a democratic setup, debates should be held and does not mean unless it is
let's begin with what you first said.
Where we see that.
Let's begin with what you first said, sir. No, once again, Mr. Ayaz, the problem here is this. The problem here is the stated policy of the government of India is that talks and terror cannot go hand in hand. We've not been playing cricket for about a decade and a half with that public stand in the public domain. The point over here, Adit Kothari, is that Mr. Ahmed Ayaz claims that he does not know who these individuals are. Would you like to tell him what is Rashmi Sawant already has spoken about it, but please introduce these individuals and their glorious past.
Well, Madhav, for starters, I don't know Mr. Ayaz is a political commentator from India or from Pakistan, because as of now he sounds more like a political analyst from Pakistan who doesn't know the basic sections of the United Nations resolution. The resolution it's sequential and it's basically conditional. So the conditions are that Pakistan needs to vacate all of its military from the occupation of the entirety of Jammu and Kashmir. It needs to ensure that the demographics, which has been altered, goes back to prior to 1948, and then the plebiscite can be then taken into account with Indian military presence to fend off any aggression from Pakistan. So those are the fundamentals of the resolution. It's a three-step and it's a sequential and a conditional resolution to say the least. However, these people who have been staged and patronized by the Oxford Union today, Muzammil Ayub Thakur, the son of Muhammad Ayub Thakur, was one of the founders of JKLF, one of the founders of Mercy. It's a charity organization which has been funding, stone pelting, all sorts of anti-India narratives and anti-India activities in Jammu and Kashmir. And these are the kind of people who've been platformed by the Oxford Union, not to mention, JKLF, the terror organization, which has done, massive amount of terrorist activities in India, but not only just in India, but even on British soil, when they kidnapped the Indian diplomat Ravindra Matre in 1984 and brutally murdered him. As a consequence of which, even Maqbool Bhatt was, indicted for that, and he was hung in India for the murder of Ravindra Matre. So, that sort of intellectual dishonesty is, it's abhorrent to say the least. But the bigger problem is the narrative side of things. They're talking about an independent state of Kashmir. So there is no mention of Jammu here. There is no mention of Ladakh. There is no mention of Gilgit. But an independent state of Kashmir, the circa 20,000 square kilometers land, which is a significant part of Jammu and Kashmir, but a very small part of the state of Jammu and Kashmir. So basically what they're trying to do is stitch the narrative in a sense that Kashmir, which is Muslim dominated, needs to be independent. They're not taking into account of the people of Jammu, Ladakh, Gilgit, which is Shia majority. We all remember the 1989 massacres of the Shia. So the Shia people in Gilgit are extremely against the Pakistani occupation. We've seen number of protests erupt in Gilgit so far. And also, let's not forget that this is a playbook straight from the American universities, where we saw, how they've, used anti-Israel propaganda to internationalize the Gaza incident in Western academic institutions. So this playbook in the Oxford Union is a straight replica where the ISI is basically trying to push this sort of narrative.
I think you've hit upon 3-4 very important points. Adit, please allow me to bring in Abid Mir Maghami. Abid Mir Maghami, दो बड़े सवाल उठ रहे हैं जो आदित्य ने अभी कहे हैं, और सबसे बड़ा सवाल ये है कि कहीं ना कहीं क्या कोई भी राष्ट्रीय पार्टी, आप कांग्रेस के मेंबर है जो नेशनल पॉलिटिकल पार्टी है, क्या इस तरह के नैरेटिव को, कश्मीर को अलग देश के रूप में जो प्रोजेक्ट करने की प्रयास की जा रही है, क्या इसको सपोर्ट किया जा सकता है जम्मू से, लद्दाख से, सबसे अलग करके? पहली बात। और दूसरी बात जो सवाल ये उठ रही है, इट्स दैट व्हेन देयर इज अ नैरेटिव, व्हाट हैज हैपेंड ऑफ कोर्स इन द फाइटिंग, द वायलेंस इन Israel and Gaza, that has led to a narrative that has supported the people of Gaza, that has supported even terror groups that exist in Gaza. आदित्य का ये सवाल हो रहा है कि समवेयर इस पूरे नैरेटिव से लेकर अब कश्मीर को लेकर ही सवाल उठाए जा रहे हैं, क्या ऐसे नैरेटिव को सपोर्ट किया जा सकता है? आबिद,
this propaganda is purely a terror act. I strongly condemn. Kashmir is part of India, has been the part of India and will remain the part of India. दुनिया की कोई भी ताकत कश्मीर को हिंदुस्तान से अलग नहीं कर सकती है। ऐसे इवेंटों को बैन होनी चाहिए। जो कश्मीर की नॉर्मलसी को डिस्टर्ब करना चाहते हैं, ऐसे लोग जिन्होंने 30 साल तक यहाँ की नॉर्मलसी को डिस्टर्ब किया, आज फिर से इनकी जो मनसा है, ये फिर से वही चीज करना चाहते हैं जो इन्होंने, क्योंकि ये अब नाकामयाब हो गए। कश्मीर में जो इन्होंने पॉलिसी जो अपनाई थी वो फेल हो गई है। अब ये दोबारा उस पॉलिसी को यहाँ इंप्लीमेंट करना चाहते हैं। इसीलिए इस तरह के ऑक्सफोर्ड यूनियन ने इस तरह के इवेंट, इस तरह के डिबेट फिर से शुरू किए। गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को इस पे एक्शन लेनी चाहिए और स्ट्रॉन्ग नोट के साथ वहां डिप्लोमेट्स को एंगेज करना चाहिए। इस तरह के डिबेट वहां बैन होने चाहिए, और अगर डिबेट करना ही है तो बलोचिस्तान पे जो कत्ले आम हो रहा है उस पर डिबेट होने चाहिए। अगर डिबेट करना ही है जो पाक ऑक्युपाइड कश्मीर हमारा हिस्सा है उस पर डिबेट होना चाहिए। उसको किस तरह इस कश्मीर के साथ हिंदुस्तान का कैसे मिलाया जाए उस पर डिबेट होने चाहिए, और गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को स्ट्रॉन्ग नोट लेना चाहिए। और ऐसे व्यक्ति जो यहाँ के नॉर्मल्सी को डिस्टर्ब करना चाहिए, इन पर स्ट्रॉन्ग लेना चाहिए, नोट लेना चाहिए और इनके ऊपर कार्रवाई करनी चाहिए।
जी, Ahmed Ayaz साहब, would you like to respond to him? Abid is a youth of Kashmir. He is saying that why is there a bid to disturb the normalcy of Kashmir? Such debates should be banned. And why not talk about Balochistan, sir? Why shy away from that? And Pakistan's great contribution, the British contributed, their colonial past in India of dividing the subcontinent is well known. They continue to have the same mentality. Why are you perpetuating that mentality of colonialism, Mr. Ahmed Ayaz?
Mr. Madhav, the moot point here is that whether anybody could debate the history. I think there is nothing wrong in debating the history. What comes out of the discussion, that is different. But the point is whether somebody is entitled to such a debate or a discussion, which is a history. Of course, this is an history. It is there. But question is, there is nothing wrong to me.
This is not a debate on the history of Kashmir. Ahmed Ayaz, This is not a debate on the history of Kashmir. The problem here is when you say the independent state of Kashmir, which sovereign government in the world will allow for a discussion on an independent state on a part of its territory? Which country will allow that? You tell me, Ahmad Ayaz.
That is what the resolution. No, that is what the resolution speaks about. A resolution also was adopted for that only. Why was a resolution adopted?
Sir,
why was there a bilateral?
The resolution is ancient history. A lot has happened since.
In Shimla in 1971. No, that's okay. That's okay. But point is they are discussing the past. That's what I'm saying. They are discussing the past. What has happened in somewhere in 1948. Thereafter, lot many things have happened. I do agree. There are lot of things changed. We don't say no. But the point is that whether anybody could discuss such a debate. To me, that's what I say. To me, there is nothing wrong in debating. There is nothing wrong in discussing. We cannot stop anybody from
There
debating.
is nothing wrong in debating an independent state, Mr. Ahmad Ayaz. I don't know.
Debate is a different thing.
No. Debating an issue is different from allowing for an independent state of Kashmir. And I think, Mr. Ahmad Ayaz, a lot of Indians would be very, very strongly in disagreement with the position that you're taking here today, because this is a position that is diametrically against the position of what we as our government have taken. I want Rashmi Sawant to quickly counter that. Rashmi Sawant, nothing wrong with the debate on history. Is this just an ordinary historical debate?
Firstly, Madhav, this is a question on the sovereignty of Kashmir, of Bharat, of the very fact that Kashmir is a part of Bharat. And I don't think any foreign power has any right to debate this. Because let's face it, every time India tries to decide for itself, be it a Supreme Court judgment on a landmark issue or anything else, the entire globe tries to pretend like we are not capable of deciding for ourselves. That kind of a colonial mentality it persists abroad. That's why we have debates about Indian issues in parliaments abroad. But the minute our own people try to legitimize it, citizens of Bharat try to legitimize it, like the gentleman on this debate is doing, it becomes extremely toxic. I don't think it is open for debate for foreigners. I do not think Kashmir is any business of any foreigner, and if any history or any redemption needs to happen, it is to the Kashmiri Pandits. Every time the people abroad have tried to write our history, they have always contorted it. They've never had our best interests at their heart. So to even to say that they have the liberty to discuss it, when we know what they've done in the name of history, in the name of business, in the name of expansion, is a disservice to our history, is a disservice to our freedom fighters, is a disservice to our heritage, to allow these very Britishers, to allow this very British institution to today dissect our sovereignty and what deserves to be part of our nation or not. It is nothing but that colonial slavery mentality. They have no right to decide.
Rashmi Sawant. That's exactly the point. How does this, how can this even be justified when the problem in its first place is, owing its origin to the British colonial regime that once existed here in India? That's actually the substance of the entire debate, and which country would allow such a debate in the first place. Rashmi Sawant, Adit Kothari, Advocate Ahmad Ayaz, as well as Abid Mir Maghami, thank you so much for joining us on the Blueprint Exclusive this evening.